Rietveld's red and blue chair is probably the most iconic example of de Stijl outside of painting. De Stijl was not just about painting or drawing, it was a set of principles that would guide all means of artistic creation. By sort of leaping to the end of the line and dispensing of everything that is not the essentials, you find this sort of ultimate form of representation and this ultimate abstraction. De Stijl is Dutch and it means the style. But essentially, de Stijl is the name that is put on this limitation in artistic expression to the basic fundamental elements, the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, the non-colors, black, white, and gray, and the use of intersecting lines and planes in right angles. De Stijl was very much about rules, and it was a bit of a reaction against other abstract movements like Cubism and Futurism to get to the essential elements of representation. Piet Mondrian and Theo van Doesburg formed this movement together in Leiden in the Netherlands in 1917, and particularly in a journal also called De Stijl, in which van Doesburg published. Mondrian termed his art neoplastic, or referred to neoplasticism. So the name of this show, Iconoplastic, is kind of a portmanteau between neoplastic and iconoclastic. This year, 2017, is the 100th anniversary of De Stijl. Throughout the entire century, everywhere from Europe to the United States to Latin America, there have been artists who have been working in this mode. This whole aesthetic is so iconic, and that's something that the show is trying to demonstrate and celebrate. Rietveld originally produces this chair in 1917, but it has no color. It's just in lacquered beechwood. Around 1923, Bart Vanderlek, another major artist affiliated with De Stijl, encouraged him to add this color scheme and give it this very De Stijl look. The chair then was placed in the Rietveld Schroeder house, but it was also meant to be mass-produced. Not necessarily because it was the most comfortable chair, but because it was sort of the most intellectually satisfying chair. When he sent the designs for the chair out to various craftspeople, he actually instructed them to print a verse from literature on the underside of the seat. And it says, "When I sit, I do not want to sit like my seat flesh likes, but rather like my seat mind would. If he were sitting, weave the chair for himself." There's so many things that could be rewritten in a De Stijl language. Mondrian was really a painter. But he would have said, and all the artists associated with this movement would have said, that it's really about all forms of artistic expression, architecture and design being chief among them, because that is the world that we interact with. If you're ever driving in Brooklyn, you see these great water towers by an artist named Tom Fruin. They're fantastic. The architect Mies van der Rohe, and places like the Farnsworth House. Not necessarily a direct participant in De Stijl, but absolutely influenced by it. It's basically become our definition of modernism. And so a part of this project is sort of reminding people that a lot of what we take for granted as just modernist is actually rooted in this movement called De Stijl.